Week's episode, Naughty Dog speaks on Uncharted's future, an upcoming Uncharted movie, PlayStation Vita finally gets a release date for North America, Australia, Latin America, and Europe, Nintendo expands their video network services, and much, much more. This is Nick's Gaming View. Hello everybody and welcome to Nick's Gaming View, episode number 56. You're here with your host, Nick McCandless. Naughty Dog speaks on Uncharted's future, an upcoming Uncharted movie. With the release of Uncharted 3 less than 2 weeks away, Naughty Dog has spoken openly this week on the future of the franchise. Addressing concerns in regards to the future of the Uncharted franchise, Justin Richmond, game director at Naughty Dog, stated the following, quote, "As long as people are willing to buy these games, and as long as we feel like we have an interesting story to tell, I'm absolutely happy to keep making them. But at some point, there's going to come to a point where people in the studio are interested in doing something new, and we'll move on." End quote. When asked about Naughty Dog's history of developing a new franchise for each console generation, Justin responded by saying, quote, "It just happened to work out that way. We've only ever done one franchise per generation just because we're a one-team studio, and that's something we've always stuck with." End quote. Arnie Meyer, community strategist for Naughty Dog, also jumped into the conversation with the statement, quote, "The games changed because the technology changed. We were trying to create games around the technology. Jack was doing a lot of interesting things in terms of design. We had a game design and a game world that fit with what the new technology had. With the PS3, technology had advanced to the point where we could do stylized realism. There's a ton of reasons, but that was one of the reasons why things started to progress that way. We were looking for something different because Jack wasn't really fitting into that. It felt more interesting to do that." End quote. Naughty Dog failed to stop talking on the power of the PS3 by claiming, quote, "We're interested in the next generation just as much as everybody else. But in terms of making games, we could keep games on the PS3 forever. It's an amazing platform." Justin continued with, quote, "Right now our code is 100% optimized to run on the SPUs, which is amazing. It lets us do things that no one else can do. But we also recognize the fact that other studios have a hard time with that. That it is important that Sony creates tools that other people are able to use, as well as we can." End quote. After speaking on the future of the Uncharted franchise and defining the power of the PlayStation 3, Justin Richmond spoke on the upcoming Uncharted movie and wiped concerns of the film not corresponding with the actual game by announcing, quote, "From what we've heard so far from Aria Rod Productions, who have worked really closely with us, they don't seem to want to let that happen. I think that we've been very good at saying this is what Uncharted is, here are the rules, now go and do what you like with it, rather than telling them that they have to keep Drake and nothing else." End quote. So this isn't necessarily a bad thing. People are like, oh, they're maxing out the PS3, now we need another game console. There'll be another game console, but we don't need it right now, as Naughty Dog stated, because they can keep optimizing it further. When the PlayStation 4 or whatever they call it comes out, do you really think they're going to max out the system with their first game? No. And a whole lot of people are like, oh god, the Uncharted franchise is going to end with Uncharted 3. We don't know. He kind of left that open. But like he said, if the game sells, they're going to make another one. Just like Gears of War. Do you think Gears of War 3 is going to be the last Gears of War? No. Selling 3 million the first week? Pure bank. They'll make another Gears of War. May not be this console generation, but they'll make another Gears of War. Trust me. So I just wanted to speak on that. Now on to the Uncharted movie with Aria Rod Productions. A lot of people were kind of concerned because we haven't heard a lot about the Uncharted movie. Directors have been cut. A lot of things have been happening. But I did some research on Aria Rod Productions, and the guy who started it, Aria Rod, is a huge director. He worked on Iron Man, Hulk, he's working on the Avengers. So this guy knows what he's doing, which puts more faith into the movie for me. I cannot wait to see how it turns out. And obviously they're taking their time, they're not just rushing it. Right now it's planned, according to IMDb, it's claimed for a 2013 release. We'll have to wait and see. But hey, if it doesn't come out till 2013, but it's solid, I'd rather that happen than come out next year rushed. So let me know what you guys think. I'm very excited for that. Cannot wait. Also on the PlayStation side, PlayStation Vita. I know we are all highly anticipating that. The release date for North America, Latin America, Europe, and Australia has finally been released. Despite Sony's original plans to have the PlayStation Vita ready worldwide for the holiday season of 2011, Sony has announced that North America, Australia, Latin America, and Europe will possess an official release date of February 22nd, 2012, making Japan the only region to launch the Vita in 2011. So I personally was predicting March. So February, that's even sooner. That's great. We all knew once they announced the December release date for Japan that it was coming out 2012 for North America. And a whole lot of people are talking about importing the PlayStation Vita because they want it that bad. If you want to, that's fine. Just know there are differences as far as the buttons go and the options. So if you're used to that, you're fine. You're all set. Otherwise, I would just wait. I'm going to be waiting for the North American version myself. Highly anticipating the PlayStation Vita. Super excited. So I cannot wait till that comes out. Uncharted Golden Abyss. Boy, that game looks amazing. Now, Nintendo. Usually not too much news on the Nintendo side, but they're actually expanding their digital video services. Roughly a year and a half after the launch of Netflix on Nintendo's Wii console, Nintendo has announced that Hulu Plus will become available not only on the Wii, but the Nintendo 3DS by the end of the year. In addition to this announcement, Nintendo unveiled that at the end of November, the Nintendo 3DS will receive a system update allowing users to record video in 3D on their 3DS device. So this is great news for Nintendo and Hulu, considering how many Wiis are currently in households. And then if you have a Nintendo 3DS, free of charge, you get 3D video recording, which is pretty cool. You might not use it, but it's a free update, so you cannot complain. That's it for the news. Now let's head into my question of the week. Now, if you guys have not seen it already, be sure to head to thegameraccess.com where I, John, and Matt, we actually talk about the iPhone 4S. We all got ours day one. We talk about iOS 5, and then we also talk about the future of iPhone in the gaming industry. So I want to ask you guys, do you see the iPhone and iOS 5 becoming a viable gaming platform? A lot of people may consider it to be one already, like I do. What do you guys think? If you want my opinion, listen to the show we recorded. Great show. We go really in depth. It's over an hour long, so definitely be sure to check that out. And I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. So that wraps up Nick's Game Review episode number 56. If you want to contact me, you can email me at admin@thegameraccess.com. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/thegameraccess. And be sure to keep checking back at thegameraccess.com. I appreciate all the feedback you guys can send me. I have a lot of things going on right now, so the more I can improve the show, the better. So any advice, ideas, please feel free to send them along. I greatly appreciate it. So that's it for Nick's Game Review this week. Check back next Saturday for Nick's Game Review episode number 57. I'm out.
Access granted.